All right, folks. Good evening. Little technical difficulties there right in the beginning. Hopefully, that will not be a bad omen of things to come. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. It is Friday night. It is 7 p.m. And that can only mean one thing it is time for this week's live stream. And just wait a few seconds for people to start joining in with us. I'm going to go ahead and get the footage rolling. Wolf, my friend, welcome. Welcome to another live stream. How has your week been, buddy? Not exactly the ship I was going to start off with. This is the Iowa, but that's still pretty cool to see the Iowa, right? So, joining us on the shelf this week, we have USS Missouri, the Mighty Mo, and we have some footage coming up for the first time ever. We have USS Arizona, and making its debut on the live stream, we have at the very top USS Kidd DD661. Let me grab her so you guys can see it up close and personal. Blue is here. What is up, Blue? How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're having a good week. Oh, we have a new person, Mark. Hello, Mark. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome to our live stream. Happy to have you with us. Yeah, guys, here we go. USS Kidd DD661. She is complete. My first ever conversion of a model. It was originally intended to be the USS the Sullivans, but we made her into the Kidd. Custom decals and everything. So yeah, let's get into things this week. Wolf, it's been good. Nothing much has really happened. How has your model building going this week, Wolf? Have you touched California at all? Um, hey, Wolf. Blue. Since you're here, Blue and I were having a little a chat in the All American Travels Discord right before the stream here. Hold on, we got another new person. Moonzer Ocean Liners from History. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Welcome to our live stream. Good to see you. We're getting underway here. We're starting off with footage of the Kidd in warships as we speak. So for you guys that have never been to this stream before, what I do is I have pre-recorded footage of World of Warships, and we just kind of watch along with that as we discuss pretty much anything and everything that we discuss. It's mostly ship-related stuff. A lot of Titanic, a lot of warships, you name it. That's what we do. Blue, these are my friends. I asked them to come say hi. Well, thank you very much for that, Blue. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Another person, Max Zellers. Hello, all. Hello, Max. How are you? Uh, Welcome, everyone. Nice to see everyone. This is cool. What a way to start, right? But Blue and I were talking in my Discord a little bit, and he presented me some trivia questions. Some about Queen Mary, some about Titanic, some about some other ships, and I had made the comment that I wasn't. I would try and ask him some Titanic trivia related questions. I said, but I wasn't sure if I could come up with anything that he might not know. But in the process of that, Blue, I have come up with two questions for you. Are you ready for those questions, sir? I was going to put them in Discord, but I figured no, let's save them for the live stream. So I will wait for your response. Just let me know if you are ready. I'm gonna look at the chat here. Max says I am very good. Thank you. Well, I'm glad to hear that. By the way, are all you guys are you on the West Coast near the Queen Mary like Blue is? Mark says World of Warships is the awesome. Yes, sir, it is. Okay, Blue says fire away. All right. So, um, My first question, Blue, is in the James Cameron movie. If you recall, when we first go to the 1912 scenes, when we first introduced to young Rose and her entourage, Lovejoy tells the steward that their luggage goes into the parlor suites B-52, 54, and 56. Who occupied that suite or those suites in real life? I will wait for you to answer. Mark is on the East Coast. Oh, sweet. Mark, I am in Louisiana. We usually start this 7 o'clock every Friday Central Time, as is all of our content Central Standard Time. If you don't mind me asking, what state do you live in on the East Coast? I've been. Max is on the East Coast as well. Okay, well, same question for you, Max. Mark got the question correct. The question again was who occupied rooms B-52, 54, and 56 in real life on the Titanic? And his answer was Bruce Ismay, and that is correct. Let's see. Moonzer is on the East Coast as well, in Ohio. I've got a couple of friends in Ohio. Mark is in Pennsylvania. Ooh, really? Mark, have you been to Philly by any chance and seen the SS United States in person? Moonzer, yeah, I'm in Ohio. Nice. Ohio's been on a bucket list of mine for places to visit for years because I've got a really good friend there. It's just for me to, actually get up there. I've got an issue with flying, so I'm not really one to travel unless I can do so by car. Blue says, who was supposed to occupy that suite? Well, you might have me there, Blue, because as I understood it, that suite was always intended for Ismay. I'm guessing you're about to correct me on that. Max is in North Carolina. So, Max, I have been to Jacksonville, Wilmington, and Cherokee in North Carolina. Saw the first time I ever saw waterfalls in real life was in North Carolina, near Cherokee. It's on the outskirts of Cherokee. It's called Mingo Falls, and that was unbelievably beautiful. Moonzer, I'm going to the SS United States for my birthday. Oh wow! Can you get some pics and video of that? That would be amazing to see. Mark says J.P. Morgan. Okay, there you go. You guys just taught me something because I did not know that. I always thought that the rooms were intended for Ismay. Yeah, Blue says Mark got it. It was originally intended for J.P. Morgan. Yeah, and see, and I should let you guys know, I don't claim to be an expert on any ship at all, but I am an enthusiast. Do a lot of my own reading and research. As you can see, I've got On a Sea of Glass up there. I'm actually almost finished with the second chapter. Actually, I got it as a Christmas gift. So that's where I'm at with that. And also, if you notice on the shelf behind the Arizona, I've got Dead Wake, The Last Voyage of the Lusitania. And that's an excellent book as well. Let's see. Moonzer, Ocean Liners from History. You should come to Ohio and see Colonel James M. Schoonmaker near my home in Ohio. I would definitely be interested in that. Mark says, we have a Discord if you would like to join. I would definitely like to join that. Blue, if you want, you can link me that in my Discord or through our private messages. I would be more than happy to join. And you guys are certainly invited to join mine as well. And Blue can give you the invite to that if you like. um, Yeah, I'm trying to remember what my second question was for you, Blue. I kind of forgot. I'm having a brain fart at the moment. So while I think about it, looking at warships for a minute, right now I've got the Arizona for free. I've got a free premium account for a week, and they gave me Arizona. And also, there was a like a coupon where you get um, you get the Missouri, but for a limited amount of battles. Like you enter the coupon, it's Missouri 80, and you once you enter that code, you can well, you have to play 5 games of any ship, and once you do that, you unlock the Missouri for 10 rounds. And so far, I have played 4 of the 10 rounds that I get. Yeah, so we're still looking at the kid here, and I'm still trying to remember what my question was for you, Blue. It'll come back to me. I just hope it comes back before the end of the stream. Um, but speaking of the kid, I don't know how many if you guys are familiar with the kid or not. I've been to the kid a lot personally because I live relatively close to it, and they're getting ready to put the ship into dry dock for some repairs. She's going to be gone from her home berth in Baton Rouge for probably about a year or so. That's what they're planning. Go through different repairs, upgrades, restoration, etc. Moonzer asks, "Do you like the Queen, the RMS Queen Elizabeth?" Absolutely. I don't know as much about her as certain other ships, other than unfortunately what happened to her at the end in what is it? Is it Hong Kong that she's in, where she was Seawise University and she caught fire, and unfortunately now she's just like a rotting hulk out there. Um, Also, speaking of ships in peril, I'm sure you guys have heard about the SS United States. And I forgot to read Mark's comment earlier when I asked him, has he ever been to Philly? And he says, no, I stay away from Philadelphia. Um, is is there I've never been anywhere in Pennsylvania, Mark. Is there a lot of crime in Philadelphia? I'm really not familiar with the city at all. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I got that right. Hong Kong. Moonzer, she was scrapped after the James Bond film with the man with the golden gun. Okay, yeah, that's a bummer. Wolf says, "What's up with the SS United States is so sad." Um, well, let's not give up hope yet, Wolf. Usually, I know in a lot of circumstances these things don't work out too well when trying to save ships, but she's not gone yet. Hopefully, the people involved, the judge specifically, will side with the conservancy, and that will at least buy them time to find another permanent port, because where she's at right now, those people don't want her there. So why keep her there? They'll even if they lose the court case, I'm sure they can just keep jacking up the rent and making it to the point where you have to move the ship. So just get it out of there. Mark says, yes, lots of crime. That's unfortunate. I would love to go and see uh, the ship itself, but again, not being too familiar with the city, eh, you know. Moonzer asks, have you been on board the Queen Mary? I have not been on board the Queen. She is extremely high on my priority list, Moonzer. The closest I've gotten to her was I toured the Midway in San Diego a couple of years ago, and that was the closest I got to Long Beach, unfortunately. Blue says technically about 20% of her bottom hull and port side are buried in the ground beneath an expanded port pier for containers, referring to the Queen Elizabeth. Yeah. Speaking of the Queen Mary, has there been any interesting news about the Queen lately? I have not heard anything in the news as far as that goes. In fact, the only thing I've been following what's been going on with the United States a whole lot, because basically, if as I'm sure you guys know, if they lose this court case, she's essentially going to be turned to razor blades. Blue says the aft funnel is being repainted. Excellent. Moonzer says new candy shop on board. Excellent. Now, have they? Are you allowed to stay on the ship? As far as like hotel reservations and all that, have they reopened that part of the ship yet? And by the way, since we've got the Queen on the brain, let me grab my Queen Mary model. I'm going to show you guys that real quick. If any of you haven't seen it yet. So here's my model of the Queen. And I dare say it's one of my favorite models that I've built, because I'm extremely proud of how this one came out. Um, it's an older model, but as you can see, it came out pretty well. The funnels are not the original Cunard red, but they're more in line with what the ship currently looks like. And this is actually the biggest model ship that I've built thus far. But yeah, I'm really happy with how she came out. But I will put her aside for now. Let's put her over here so nothing happens. In fact, there's actually going to be a contest coming up in a few months, a modeling contest, and I intend to enter that particular model into the into that competition. Let's see. Let's see. Checking at the chat. Blue Ribbon. Yes, the hotel is open. 250 hotel rooms open. Nice. Working to get another 100 up soon. Uh, Everyone's a nice model. Thank you guys very much. I'm real big into the model building. I've got the Queen. I've got the three you see behind me. I've got Mauritania. I've got the USS New Orleans. I've got Titanic. I've got SS United States. And I am currently in the process of building all three Olympic class ships in the same scale. But I am completely drawing a blank on that second question I had for you. Maybe I'll just come up with a different one. Let me think here. What can I ask you about the Titanic? Let's see. And by the way, Blue was schooling me on the name. Mark says, "Can I please see the Mauritania model?" Absolutely. Let me go grab it. I'll be right back. Okay. So here is RMS Mauritania. This is a 1 to 600 scale model. So it doesn't have quite as much detail as the model of the Queen has, but this is another one that I'm particularly happy with the job I did on it. And you can see I did get the Cunard red correct on the funnels on this particular ship. So, yep, that is the Mauritania. I have been looking and looking and looking for a model of Lucy, and I have had no luck. The only thing I can find is like a 1 to 350 scale model of the ship, and it's like they want over $300 for them. It's like I don't have that kind of money to be spending on a model, unfortunately. Max says, very nice. Well, thank you very much, Max. I appreciate that. Mark, I have an unfinished Lusitania model. Um, wow, really? Are you into model building as well, Mark? Let me, where did I put her stand at? I'm gonna keep her stand. The stand on this one is in like two separate pieces. It's not one whole piece, so I've got to adjust it and make sure the ship is sitting perfectly on there. Okay. Oh, and here we go. We're looking at footage now of USS Arizona. This is brand new footage. Wolf, we have not yet seen this footage of Arizona on the stream before, so this is all new footage of Arizona. Mark, my model needs the lifeboats and funnels on. Yeah, that's where I am at. For the most part with my 1 to 700 Titanic. I'm building Titanic first, then I am building Olympic. Then I've got another Titanic kit that I'm going to do a conversion to Britannic. And when I'm done with those three, I've got a 1 to 350 of the USS Texas. Don't ask me where I'm going to put all these models at because I'm really running out of room. But what can I say? It's just something really awesome about having a physical replica of these ships that you're so passionate about. Wolf, the Pennsylvania class battleships sure were pretty. Wolf, I actually saw a picture on Facebook. I don't remember if it was today or yesterday, and I forgot to grab it. It's a picture of Arizona looking off of Pennsylvania. Looking off of Pennsylvania's bow. Mark says, I want an Olympic and Britannic model. Me too, Mark. And I'll tell you how that came about for me. So for the almost entire part of last year, I was searching for the Revell 1 to 700 Olympic model because it's been discontinued for I think like 10 years or something. So they're extremely hard to find. And late last year, one popped up on eBay. Of course, it was overpriced, but I went ahead. I bit the bill. I bit the bullet. I went ahead and ordered it. I got it in. Made sure everything was there. Made sure it's the actual Olympic and not Titanic in an Olympic box. Matched everything against the instruction manual, and it's correct. Now, I'm waiting on another Titanic model to come in, and with that model, I am going to convert that model to Britannic. And another one of our Discord users by the name of B. Milan, he actually made the custom decals for me. He made me some Olympic decals as well because the Olympic kit didn't come with them. And he's also been really good about pointing me in the right direction to get the correct, um, not photo etch, but like 3D printed parts that you'll need to make the conversion. Blue question: did Arizona have the aft catapult on her stern or on December 7th? I don't ever remember seeing that. Um, as if I recall correctly, Blue, she did, and I want to say that warships model they have here in the game is accurate to how the ship was at the time of the attack. If you want, you can fact check me on that, but I'm fairly certain that she did have it. Mark says, "Nice. I saw an Olympic model when I was a kid, but was interested in Titanic at the time." I think most of us, and I can say for sure, me, we start out with this ship passion. A lot of us with Titanic, and it just kind of spreads out from there. Um, I can tell you, I know a lot of people. I'm sure you guys know about. What I call the big three as far as YouTubers in shipping, and they are Tom Linsky, Mike Brady, and Sam at Historic Travels. They will all, I think they will all tell you that their fascination started with Cameron's movie. I'm a little older than those guys, and I was a child when Robert Ballard discovered the wreck in 1985. And I remember to this day how it happened. I remember I was in the car with my parents. We were going somewhere, and it was in the afternoon. I don't remember exactly where we were going, but I remember my parents talking about it when the ship was found. And I asked them, "What's Titanic?" And I'm pretty sure they gave me, the Cliff Notes version, largest ship in the world, hit the iceberg, all that stuff. And from there, that's where my fascination with ships began. And of course, this was in the days before the internet. So I remember we had this big set of encyclopedias in the living room. And the first time I ever picked up one of those books to actually read something in one of these encyclopedias was to read about the Titanic. Mark, Olympic is now my favorite ship, but like all of Cunard White Star ships. She is, it kind of alternates between Olympic and Titanic. As far as like the ocean liners go, which one's my favorite? It kind of flips. There are days when I like Titanic more. There are days when I like Olympic more. Um, but for the Cunard ships, the Queen is by far my favorite. I would say the Queen is number one, and it's really a toss up between Lucy and Mauritania for number two. I would probably put Aquitania at number three. Uh, Mark says I was 9 when the Titanic was found. I think Mark, we're pretty much the same age because I'm pretty sure I was 9 when the ship was found too. Yeah, 1985. Yeah, I was 9 years old when the Titanic was found. Blue says, "Hi, I was on family vacation staying in Durango, Colorado when the news of Titanic came out. I was 12." Oh, wow. Okay, so you actually you're a little older than myself and Mark. But yeah, that's oh wow, we just sunk a ship there. But anyway, yeah, that's my story of how I got into Titanic, and like I said, my interest in ships just it spread out from there. Mark says, "I'm 48 now. I am not yet, Mark, but I do turn 48 this year." Blue says, "Haha, I'm older. 51. Yep, yes, sir. You got us beat." So since we're on that topic, and this is another thing that Blue and I were talking about in the Discord earlier, is we were kind of talking about the Cameron movie, Cameron's Titanic movie, and A Night to Remember. Um, which movie did you guys prefer and why? And I actually did a few months ago. I brought on a friend of mine that is a writer, and we compared the two movies, and like he approached it from a writer storyteller perspective, and I took the historical perspective, and we just had a nice little discussion that is on the playlist. If you go into the podcast playlist on the channel, if you're interested in watching that, yeah, it was a pretty cool little discussion we had. Blue, not a contest. I like winning. You know what, Blue? This one's all you. This one's all you. It's funny, and I know you guys know this. When you're young, when you're like 9 years old, I can't wait to be an adult, and nobody can tell me what to do. It's so true what our parents told us. You spend all your childhood trying to grow up, and you spend the rest of your life wishing you could go back. Blue says, "A Night to Remember totally was my go to movie until Cameron, but A Night to Remember is still a close second place." Yeah, that's it. That's acceptable. Um, Max says, "I prefer A Night to Remember." Um, From the historical perspective, I do prefer A Night to Remember. Like Blue and I were talking earlier, it's A Night to Remember, with the exception of the final plunge, with the ship sinking in one piece and just kind of just sliding under the waves. We know that wasn't accurate. And when Andrews and Smith are talking shortly after the collision, Andrews has got the schematic in front of him and of the ship, and he's like, I estimate a gash, 300 feet across below the water line. Well, of course we know that was not the case either. Other than that, off the top of my head, I cannot think of anything, any other inaccuracies that A Night to Remember has. I could be wrong, but off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Bill Keys, members. Billy, yes. I am going to have to look into that. Thank you for reminding me. In fact, let me pull that up. And Max says, I do still like the 97 film. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I can say, um, it's obviously a better looking film. The ship looks better. The sinking is more accurate because you know Cameron had better information at the time. 'Cause, it's 12 years after the wreck was discovered. So I think he did the best that he could with the historical accuracy, with paired with the type of story that he was trying to tell. Mark, only 11 square feet of damage done to Titanic. And there you go. Blue, I still can't remember that doggone question. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on that. Like I said, I think I will have to come up with something completely different. But yeah, I think I got sidetracked earlier. Blue and I were talking, and he asked me. So Titanic had a crew passage on E deck that runs almost the entire length of the ship from front to back, and it was called Scotland Road. And he asked me what was the Queen Mary's equivalent, and I do not know the name of that. Well, I do now because he told me what it is, and yeah, so now I know that it's Burma Road. Electronics Destroyer, welcome, my friend. Good to see you again. My chat put it this one, and good stream. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Blue says, have you watched Cameron's Return to Titanic documentary? Um, there's one on Disney Plus that Cameron did, Blue. I'm guessing it's probably the one that you're talking about, where he did like a recreation. You know how MythBusters did the thing where could Jack have survived? Both of them on the paneling or whatever. And Cameron did his own test of it to see if he could. And according to Cameron's results, it would have ended up being the same way that it ended up in the movie. And I know that he had descendants of some of the survivors as well. I know like John Jacob Astor's granddaughter was in it. A distant one of Guggenheim's descendants, I believe, was in it too. I think is that the one you're talking about? I remember that one for sure. Let me go ahead and try something here real quick, guys. No, that's not going to work. I need to boot up another computer. Bill's comment was reminding me to give out some memberships, which I really need to do, but I need to be on another computer in order to do that. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to it this week, but I think I know how I need to do it. Blue says it's the one where they explored the Turkish baths. I don't know if I've seen that one or not. And the Strauss Suite. Okay, if that's the same one, I think I did see it because I do seem to remember he was like freaking out because the clock was still on the mantle in the Strauss suite, and he was blown away by that. If that's the same one, then I have seen that one. But I also I watched one of Alex's videos on the Queen recently. I forget which one it was. He did a I'm trying to remember exactly. It was about the Queen's wartime service as the Gray Ghost. I don't know, maybe 45 minutes to an hour video that he did. Absolutely amazing video. I love reading about the Queen and her wartime service just as much as her as a passenger liner. Mark, it's amazing how well the Turkish baths is intact. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that that is the most well preserved part of the ship, is it not? I think it is. And that was also another way you can, I really hate to bring it up, but debunk a certain idiotic theory regarding Olympic and Titanic. The floor plans of the Turkish baths were different, but I'm not going to get into that. By the way, while I'm thinking about it, are any of you guys, do you have YouTube channels as well? Because if so, I will be more than happy to subscribe to your channels. Mark, very well preserved. Yeah, like I said, it was my understanding that it's like the most well preserved part of the wreck. Wolf, you've been a little quiet this evening. Are you enjoying watching the footage? Oh, by the way, did you also get the Missouri in the game? Did you enter that code? I know you're playing warships on a different platform. The blue ribbon says yes, that totally debunked the swap theory. One of like 1,000 different things you can point at to debunk that idiocy. Uh, Blue says, and yes, best preserved location. There you go. Mark, I have YouTube, but it's phone tech. I gotcha. Well, if I'm good, just don't have anything to say. You're good. But have you been playing warships, Wolf? And again, did you get the Missouri? Oh, you play on your phone. I forgot about that. I thought you were playing like on console or something. I know we're going to be switching ships here on the footage real soon because we had three ships we're looking at. Max, yes, I have a YouTube channel. Cool. Well, I will definitely seek you out and give you a sub. As you can tell, I've only got 1,000. I've got 1,100 subs, so I'm a small time. We're not monetized yet. We're working towards that. But yeah, this is what I do every Friday night. We just talk about all kind of random ships. And while I'm thinking about it, are you guys only interested in ocean liners, or are you interested in warships as well? And I don't mean the game, just like real warships. I asked that because with us looking at the footage here, Mark says I played World of Warships on PC a long time ago. I played this game on and off a lot over the years. I actually finally got the Iowa after like 7, 8 years of trying to get the game from playing it off and on. And here we go, Mighty Mo. making its debut here. One of my absolute favorite warships of all time. I didn't even know that Missouri existed in this game until I saw the code to get it a couple of days ago because they don't even list it in the in the premium shop where you can buy the premium ships. So never knew it was in the game. Mark, I like ocean liners and aircraft carriers. Excellent. Have you been on any aircraft carriers? I know you've got the Yorktown on the East Coast in South Carolina. Like I said earlier, I've been on the Midway in San Diego. Well, Missouri's camo is so good. Yes, sir, it is. I'm wondering if this is a real camo that the ship had. And speaking of which, I asked you guys, are you just into ocean liners? Or for me, I'm into warships as well, but I have a very big love for battleships. Um, such a yin and yang, right? The beauty and the elegance of the ocean liners, and just the badassery of a ship like Missouri, or the Arizona, any type of battleship. I'm a big fan of battleships as well. Max says I mainly like ocean liners. Max, what is your favorite canard ship? Is it the Queen? Mark says he's been on the USS Intrepid in New York City. Oh, nice. Um, the Sullivans is in New York too, if memory serves, right? The sister ship to the Kid there. I think it's in Buffalo. Now, isn't it weird that we have so many warships that we can tour as museum ships, yet the only ocean liner that I know of in the United States that you can tour is the Queen. Is there another one that I don't know about? Because yeah, SS United States still exists, but you can't really tour it. So is the Queen the only ocean liner that you can tour? Max says yes, the Queen Mary. So there you go. I would love more than anything for them if the United States Conservancy wins the lawsuit. It would be a dream come true for me if we could find a place for her in Louisiana, because then I could just visit her as much as I want, just like I can the Kid. Wolf, USS the Sullivans, Little Rock, and Croker are all in Buffalo. Okay, is one of those a sub? Because I knew about the Sullivans. I didn't realize they had that many ships in Buffalo. Blue Ribbon, only liner. Yeah, so the Queen is the only liner. Blue also says there's a passenger ferry in Michigan called the City of Cleveland that I'd love to visit. Really? Is this still an active ferry, or is it a museum ship? I had a chance to ride a ferry for the first time in my life a few months ago when I went to Galveston. I went there to do the dry dock tour of the USS Texas. Unfortunately, it rained pretty much the entire trip, and by the time I was ready to take the ferry, I was going to take it on my way back home. It was shut down due to the weather. Wolf, Little Rock, Croker is a sub, and Little Rock is a Cleveland class cruiser. Say that real fast 3 times. Blue says it's retired museum and I think hotel, not positive. Gotcha. So you know what? I want to ask you guys this also. What is in you guys' opinion? What is the long term future of the Queen Mary? Do you guys think that she's still going to be around for a while, or is there still a whole lot more repairs, renovation, restoration that needs to go into the ship? You know, what do you guys think is the long term status of the ship? Yeah, that I would really like to know. Yeah, this guy right here is also at one of my my dream visits would be to visit the Mighty Mo. Moonzer says 70 to 100 years. I love that. Well, I guess that means I've still got plenty of time to go see her. Yeah, I really really want to go and visit her someday. Mark says she'll outlive me. Hopefully, she is never scrapped. Agreed. And since you're like we were saying, you know, she's the only ocean liner that you can actually tour. Um, I certainly hope that you know she can outlive me. I'd be fine with that. And that's what they're doing with the kid there behind me. They're going to make sure that she's still around for generations to come. We were talking about that in Discord earlier too. You know, with the United States up in peril, and we were saying, you know, I was glad to say that the kid is in no such danger at all. That's why she's going in a dry dock to make sure she'll be around for decades longer. Same with the USS Texas. Moonzer, you can keep an ocean liner forever, basically, if you take very good care. Absolutely. And unfortunately, that's not what happened with the United States. Long Beach is looking into the possibility of building a new graving dock to be used for modern ship repairs. Excellent. Well, let's hope that happens, because then you know that's just much more reason to keep her around even longer. I had saw something, and I think it was in one of Alex's videos. Wolf says New Jersey is also going in a drought. That is true, and also the Iowa. I don't think Iowa's going into dry dock anytime soon, but I know that they are selling teak deck from Iowa. So I'm guessing they might be doing a teak deck replacement on the Iowa, and that's what this thing is here. For you guys that haven't seen it before, I always have this on the shelf. This is my piece of original teak deck from the USS Alabama. And it's got the nice little graving of the park's logo up there, and then another version down here. And it just gives you a brief little history right here about the ship. And one of the main prominent things about Alabama's history was she was the ship that led the fleet into the Japanese harbor for the formal surrender and end of World War II. So everything was signed on the Missouri, of course, but Alabama led the fleet into the harbor. Moons are talking about the Queen. She will outlive me too. Uh, you know what? Here's an interesting question for you guys. If you could go back in time, you got one of two choices. If you could go back in time and salvage one of these two ships, which one would you save? Olympic or Mauritania? I know what Wolf's answer will be because I happen to know what his favorite Cunard ship is. You know, hint, hint. For me, as much as I'd love to have Mauritania, I'm going to go with Olympic. Yeah, well, interesting that Alabama led the fleet in and not in Iowa. Yeah, according to that plaque, Alabama led the fleet in. Wolf says Mauritania, which I was expecting that because I happen to know that Mauritania is Wolf's favorite Cunard ship. Mark says both. Moons are both, and then Mark again, both. Blue says Maury for me. I guess I'm on an island by myself. Well, first Mark says Olympic, then he says both. So, but he's at least with me, on Olympic. I mean, yeah, I would love to go back and save both, but if you absolutely have to pick one, it pains me to not get Mauritania back, but I got to go with Olympic. I just have to. Max also says Mauritania. I think one of my favorite stories about Mauritania was when it was decided that she was going to go to the scrapyard. President Franklin Roosevelt wrote a letter of protest to Kennard saying that it was a disgrace for them to scrap the Mauritania. He suggested that she be sank and basically given like a soldier's death. I mean, she was a war veteran, instead of being sent to the scrapyard, which would have worked out because I mean, most of these ships that are intentionally sunk are used for like artificial reefs. They could have did something like that with her, and then sink her in shallow water, and then people could dive to the wreck. No, just a thought. I know when we were talking about the Queen Elizabeth earlier, I remember before she went to Hong Kong, uh, she was actually intended to serve the same purpose, or a similar purpose as the Queen Mary does in Long Beach, in Florida. I forget why it didn't work out, but it didn't. And then she was sold off to whoever ended up bringing her to Hong Kong. You guys can correct me on that, but I think that's how the story went. Blue says, now if we added Britannic, I would choose Britannic only because of the unique features she had compared to Olympic and Titanic. I could see that. But yeah, Mark's right too. Both Titanic and Britannic still exist. That is true. Yeah, Britannic. Blue said, "Oh Lord." I mean, it's true. It is true. They both still exist. I mean, not in the way we would like for them to, but they do. This is Moonzer's favorite topic. Okay, but it's true. They do exist. And while we're at it, Lusitania still exists. Blue says QE Seawise and her Port Everglades. Okay, yeah, that's what I was remembering. I knew at some point she was in Florida before she became Seawise University. Barely. Yeah, I know it wasn't a very long stay. I remember that. Blue, she's Wolf. British battleships still exist. Well, while we're at it, Wolf, the Hood still exists. Bismarck still exists. Yamato still exists. He's Wolf said Carpathia. Yes, Mark says Carpathia still exists. It is true. Wolf, USS Nevada, USS Pennsylvania still exists. USS Arizona still exists. We we can do this all day. uh, USS United States still exists. I just wish she was in a much better shape than what she's in. Yeah, when you look at it from a certain point of view, all of those ships still exist. Mark, all ships that sank still exist. It's true. I mean, it is true. Oh, when now that I just remembered, I was going to tell you two of my favorite stories about Mauritania. Well, I told you one of them. The other one, when the ship was going to be scrapped, shortly before she went to the breakers, Arthur Rostron, who was captain of Carpathia, when they rescued the Titanic survivors, he later on went on to become captain of the Mauretania. It had a nickname under his command called the Rostron Express because he was basically hell bent on keeping the ship's schedule, uh, departures, arrivals, etc., on time. But when the ship was getting ready to go to the breakers, he was offered the opportunity to go on the ship one last time before she went to the breakers, and he turned it down, saying he wanted to remember the ship how she was when she was under his command. And he stood on the dock as the ship went off uh, towards the breakers. Yeah, it's just another little cool story about Mauritania to me. Yeah, isn't it funny how the successful ships, though, are all the ones that got scrapped? Max says, Empress of Britain still exists, but barely. Well, and Empress of Ireland, there's another one. That's going to be interesting to see what that ship looks like when Mike Brady puts his game out, Grand Voyage, because that's going to be one of the first ships in the game when it launches. And he just announced he had a reveal video a couple of days ago that revealed another ship that's going to be in the game. I know what it is, but if I'll let you guys decide if you want me to tell you what it is or not before I say what it is, in case you want to watch the video and be surprised. Blue, think of that question yet? No, Blue. I complete blank. Blue. I've completely forgotten it. But here's one. I got you one right here on the fly. Let's see. So as you know, the guy who saw the iceberg was Frederick Fleet. What was the name of the other lookout that was in the crow's nest with him when he saw the iceberg? There you go. That's not the question I had originally thought of, but there you go. Right there on the fly. USS Arkansas still exists. USS New York still exists. Wolf, I really enjoyed his video, his new Scharnhorst video. That was good. I have not yet watched it, Wolf, but I've got it on my watch list. I'll probably check it out after the live stream. Blue says his video on the sinking was really good. Yes. Mark, Simmons. No, Mark, that is incorrect. It was not Simmons. Give you guys a few more tries. I forgot, only guessing. No worries, no worries. Max says, I can't remember. Blue, do you remember what this person's name was? Max and Blue got it at the same time. Reginald Lee. You got it at the same time. Let's see if I can think of one more. Let's see. Here's an easy one. I know a lot of people probably remember this guy's name. Who was the chief baker on the Titanic? He is portrayed in A Night to Remember as being very tipsy when the when the ship was getting ready to go down. And there's some people who believe that is the reason why uh, he survived the cold of the water because he was so inebriated. Blue, haha, I was cooking dinner in the kitchen and ran into type. Hey, what are you cooking, by the way? Just curious. Moonzer wants to know if he can ask a question. Absolutely, you most certainly can. Blue answered first. He got it. Charles Yaukin. Uh, Moonzer also says Charles Yaukin. The spelling of the name is different from what you got, but I know who you're talking about. It's Charles Yaukin. I think you got it spelled right there, Blue. Yeah, Moonzer wants to do a question. Yeah, fire away, Moonzer. Hit me with it. Oh, no for trivia. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. But before you do you want me to answer as well, or do you just want the chat to answer? See, we're going to be reaching the end of our footage here. Blue says orange chicken and fried rice. Oh, that sounds delicious. I had Subway for dinner. I usually I usually cook during the week, and I'll eat sandwiches during the week for lunchtime. But on the weekends, I tend to indulge a little bit. Moons will ask about Punka louvers. Okay, he wants me and chat to answer. Okay, whenever you're ready, Moonser, hit us with it. Oh, that does sound good. We got a place right around the corner from me that they make a great orange chicken. So Moonser's question is, how many telegraphs are in the Queen Mary's wheelhouse? Whew. That hmm. I'm trying to picture the wheelhouse in my head and not picture Titanic's in my head. mm, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say three. Blue six. Moonzer says no. Max says five. Mark says 100. And Max is correct. She had five. Yeah, that's a good bit actually. Now I would not have guessed that, and so I'm really looking forward to chatting with you guys more and more because I know a lot of general uh, information about the Queen. Admittedly, I don't know the Queen quite as well as I know Titanic, but I am definitely open to learning more about her because she is my favorite Cunard ship. And a lot of that has to do with her war service, not just her career as a passenger liner. I'm sure you guys have seen the movie Pearl Harbor. The one with Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett, Kate Beckinsale. They towards the beginning of the movie, before they're all getting ready to leave to go off to war and all that stuff, there's a scene where Ben Affleck and Kate Beckinsale are in a boat, like a little motorboat or whatever, in New York, and they pull up on side the Queen Mary. Now, mind you, World War II is already underway, but the Queen Mary is still in her Cunard colors and not the gray ghost colors. You guys ever seen that? I laughed when I saw that because I was like, That's just lazy, okay? I mean, there's no by that point the queen was definitely not in her canard colors. I mean, it would have took them 5 minutes to do some research and look that up and could have got it right. uh, Moons are how many letter plates on both port and starboard side on the queen? Mark says you'll like our group. Oh, I have no doubt about it, Mark. I have no doubt. I will be joining up tonight for sure. Blue, right, big oof in that movie. Mark, great movie. Blue, I was on board when they were filming that scene. Wait, are you serious? Like, are you were really on the ship when they did that? Blue, I thought it was stupid. Yeah, but if that's true, if are you serious? Were you really on the ship? I mean, if you are, I mean, still that's pretty cool. Too bad they didn't get you like some 1940s, attire, and you could have been an extra in it or something. I was an extra in a movie once. If you guys ever Steve, Mark, and Max are in my group. Well, fantastic. Yeah, no, I will definitely be joining you guys. Blue says 2 nights they did it. One of the nights I was staying aboard in the hotel. That's still a pretty cool story, though. I mean, yeah, it wasn't the greatest movie, but that's still a pretty cool story, though. I mean, clearly the best movie that the Queen was ever a part of was the original Poseidon Adventure. There's no doubt about that at all. The bow was closed off, but I went up to the starboard bridge wing. Sweet. Moonzer, have you seen my channel? I have not. I will definitely look at it though. I will give you a sub once we're wrapping up here. Which actually I'm about to head and get ready to do that because we are past the 1 hour mark. So before we wrap it up, I will run through our content, our weekly schedule of content that for the channel. All times are Central Standard Time. So Monday through Friday, we have a quiz question that's usually ship related, and it's 9 o'clock a.m. every Monday through Friday. At 10 a.m. Weekdays, we have a random poll, and it could be about anything and everything. From Star Wars to Marvel. What's your favorite Italian dish? Anything. It could be anything and everything. 11 a.m. weekdays, the random video short of the day comes out. On Friday mornings at 7 a.m., the weekly video comes out. And of course, every evening, 7 p.m., we do our live stream. Blue, ha! I will walk by the Rogo cabin all the time. You will shut up. I'm busy in here. uh, Moser, yay! Thank you. Yes, sir. Absolutely, my pleasure. And yep, I will be. I've got some subscribing and some discords to do here. Once we wrap it up, well, pretty much just wrapped it up there. So yeah, that's going to do it for this week, guys. Thank you all so much for coming, and checking out the stream and hanging out with me. I'm definitely looking forward to getting to know you guys and hanging out with you in the discords. Wolf, as always, thank you for being here, my friend. We Wolf is a staple of my live streams. He's always here, hanging out with me. And Blue, thanks for the stream. Always a fun time. Yeah, well, and thank you guys for coming. You guys you guys make it all worth it. I had a blast this week. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, I'm gonna go do a couple of things, and then I will be joining you guys Discords and checking out your channels. Uh, so yep, thanks guys for coming and hanging out. That's it for this week. So until next week, for those of you that are used to it, you know the drill. Drive safely.